What's going on, everyone? Welcome into a brand new episode of Snaps, little continued holiday edition. It is December 30th, 2024. It is Monday. I am TBob. He is Aaron Murray. We got a ton to get to on today's shows, guys. You got Carson Beck declaring for the NFL. We got a lot of bowl games that have already happened to talk about. I want to look at the conference standings thus far in bowl season, and we'll look forward to the games that are still to come, including the second round of the playoffs, which, will begin tomorrow night, right? Am I crazy? I'm sorry.
No.
I'm at that point where I actually took
Are the
off
kids
today.
napping?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I took off today, and so I don't really know what day of the week it is anymore. These holidays have been so
No
nice.
idea.
Just eating and drinking. And I know you've been working and traveling, Aaron.
It's made it worse because I'm heading on to my third bowl game, and the games are all on random days. So which even throws me off even more because I'm so accustomed to traveling on Thursday or Friday, calling the game Saturday, back home Sunday. Now I'm like calling a game on a Tuesday and then back on a Wednesday. You're just like head spinning, but big week, baby. Got the ReliaQuest Bowl tomorrow, and then get my mind right for the Duke's Mayo Bowl on Friday. So.
And where do we stand on mayonnaise? I think I'm telling a bit of a white lie.
I still have not tried any of it yet.
I'm telling everybody that you've literally never. So you've never even had it with fries?
No. I've had it with fries. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but you've never had it on anything. So fucking insane. Well, I'm looking forward to that. By the way, guys, hit the like button, sub if you enjoy the show. Please, the algorithmic gods that rule our entire lives. Let me go ahead and tweet this out from mine as well. Aaron, before we get into the show, a bit of a bad life thing from me here. I forgot to put the trash out this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. So I went to, my wife, I was just going to wake up early, go work out. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I don't have work today. I'm not going to do that. And so that's when I was planning to put the trash out. I didn't. I fall asleep. Next thing I knew, my wife's like, hey, I think, is it the dump truck? So I throw on pants, throw on a sweater, go sprinting outside, only to watch the dump truck fading into the distance. And what?
Never mind.
I'm already 4 bags out of the can. Can is full. 4 bags out of the can. And the next pickup day is supposed to be Thursday, which is New Year's Day, which means almost assuredly they're not coming.
No.
Which means they're not coming again till next Monday morning.
You'll just push it back a day. You get it. Good for you. We only get trash day once a week, so at least you get twice.
We get it twice. But it's
you should see my garage. My son every day in school, it pisses me off at school. They allow him to do this shit. Come home with cardboard boxes with just scribbles on it. Our garage has about 30 boxes right now. And I'm slowly bringing them out every single week. But then when school starts up again, it's going to be the same thing. So if they're going to do it, at least give me a little bit more than a couple squigglies and a couple things taped on.
Wait, so why don't you throw them away?
I do throw them away, but I just don't want to put 50 fucking boxes on the side of the street for the trash guy. So I'm trying to slowly over the course of.
Well, do you break down the boxes?
Depends if I have time to do it or not.
I find something about breaking down boxes to be very, very therapeutic during the holiday season. I mean, that's the only time when I think I have enough box built up to do so. Yeah. But you just kind of sit there and get yourself a little knife and just mindlessly.
I don't hate my kids' artwork, CK. I love my kids' artwork. I'm just saying, if you're going to bring home 4 boxes, just do a little bit more, or just focus on one box and just go all out on that one box. That's all I request.
Why? You were never just a fan of one box growing up.
I wasn't.
I mean, what is this?
At least I took care of each box,
gave it situation.
All attention as I went through 4 boxes.
Okay, yes,
it wasn't.
You fully colored each box.
I fully colored each box.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Inside the lines, mostly.
Okay, let's just go ahead and dive in then. Let's start with the Georgia news. Carson Beck making us look very smart, declaring that he will be going to the NFL right after we said, surely there's no way that he'll go to the NFL, right? Like that was our entire premise of our conversation was we first established that there's no way he would go to the NFL because he had too much reason to return to college. And so what would he do? Well, no, man, I don't know. It's kind of a crazy move, man.
I agree.
What do you think his draft stock is? Have you heard anything? Not your opinion, but have you heard anything from anybody?
No, I've not heard anything. I think it all depends on if the top two guys go, if Cam and Shedeur go in the top 10, then as we all know, I mean, look at the NFL. Did you see the starting quarterbacks in the NFL this weekend? It is a really bad league of quarterbacks in the NFL. Teams are going to be reaching. Teams are going to get desperate. And they're going to look at a 6'4" quarterback who they projected as the number one quarterback heading into the season and say, you know what? Why not take him somewhere in the mid-second round? Why not take him in the early third round? So I don't think he gets out of the third round. I would not be surprised if someone reaches for him somewhere in the second because, who else are you going to get? After Shedeur and Cam, who are you going to get that doesn't have question marks around them, that doesn't have NFL talent tied to their name? So he's going to be in the conversation still for a top 5 quarterback.
How do you think the NFL feels about UCL injuries?
That's why I thought he would stay, because even if you're a second-round pick or third-round pick, you'd be making the same money that these college quarterbacks are making. So I don't know if it was it could be like this. He didn't want to stay another year at Georgia because, there's always a fatigue factor, but he didn't want to transfer somewhere else. So it was kind of the decision was made for him, essentially. It's kind of like my gut's telling me he knows that staying in college football probably was a smarter thing for him, but it wasn't going to be at Georgia. His time and run up, he's ready to move on, and he really didn't want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
If I felt like there was a warm, welcoming feeling of, hey, I know I'm going to be the quarterback at Georgia next year. But I mean, shit, some of the stuff that's being said by some of the players and even Kirby this week, and maybe it's to pump up, Gunner, but it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth if I'm Carson.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of been the entire Carson Beck saga this year. And it's one of the most odd that I can remember seeing where he hasn't been egregiously bad. And look at the guys that he lost that he's having to overcome. Brock Powers just set, was it the
NFL
rookie record for NFL rookie record, right? For catches in a season.
Yeah.
Ladd McConkey is dominating for the Chargers. You want him to be able to throw to the same level that he could when you replace those guys with guys who are multiple orders of magnitude, steps down. It's just.
Cody said what I was hinting at, and Cody brought it up. Kirby just said they play harder for Gunner. Yeah, because there was a bunch of very passive-aggressive comments from players and coaches over the past 2 weeks. And once again, I don't know if this is a pumping up Gunner, but it doesn't make you feel good as the presumed starting quarterback that the team has really bought into you if you do decide to come back next season. I think Carson felt like everything was moving in a different direction at Georgia. And, if you don't want me, then screw you. I'm out of here. Let me go to the NFL.
That's, yeah. And interesting that he doesn't just go the vengeful college route and go try to get $4 million out of Oregon or Ohio State or somewhere else. Prove that his arm is still good.
To me, though, his personality, even from a year ago,
that's true.
It always felt like Carson was trying to go one and done. Carson wanted to come in. He waited his time. He was supposed to be the guy. Stetson took over. Stetson won. You're not going to unseat a guy that wins a national championship. But I'm talented enough that I think I can go one and done. And he could have gone one and done a year ago. He decides to come back for national championship. Obviously, it didn't work out in the way he wanted to with just the way the season's unfolded, the injury, whatever you want to create that narrative. But he's always been ready to move on to the next level. He's not someone that has been wanting to linger in college football too long. He knows he's talented. And I know people in the chat and a bunch of Georgia fans are not happy with the way the season unfolded. There is no denying that he checks off the majority of boxes when it comes to the NFL and playing that position.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My neighbor's daughter, sweet girl, Well, Bren just came and dropped off a bunch of kinetic sand for my kids. So I actually like kinetic sand. It's not that hard to clean up. It keeps the kids interested. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the playing hard. So did he literally say playing hard? Or you're saying he kind of was insinuated, intimated, kind of hinted at?
No, Kirby said that.
Damn. So, I mean, okay, if I just want to like extrapolate or just read too much into that, because when you say that, how could we not? Like, it's just impossible not to feel that it's like partially because was he making so much money? He had a Lamborghini, dating the Cavender twin. Like you said, he had an NFL sort of feel. Did he just lose touch with the boys?
No, I don't think it was like that at all. And I think somebody on the chat brought it up too. I mean, I don't know how talented Gunner is. I've not been to enough practices. I've not seen him enough live this year because Georgia has not beat a bunch of teams up to where there's a lot of tape where there's 80 snaps on him. So, like, I do think that there's always a sense of, hey, if this guy is not as talented as Carson, who we all believed was going to be the top quarterback in the NFL draft, we have to play better to make up for that difference. I don't know if he's referring to like because of that, or guys just do like him. The guys believe in him. The guys want to fight for him. I'm sure you've been around quarterbacks that you just say, you know what, fuck this guy. And I'm sure you've been around quarterbacks that you do play a little bit harder. You do protect a little bit harder because he's your boy. He's your drinking buddy. He's coming over to play FIFA with the offensive lineman on a Wednesday night. So there's part of that. I'm not going to make assumptions that the players didn't like Carson.
Damn, all these Georgia fans are talking about how Carson didn't want to transfer to another school. He's a damn good dog, real Georgia player. You know how fucked up it is that you're sitting here celebrating him for leaving at the same time that you don't want him back? Like, I don't know. I think, yeah, I mean, I get why you're happy, but you're still having your cake and eating it too, trying to call him a damn good dog. He ain't happy with you.
No, I don't think
y'all have forced him to the NFL fresh off a UCL injury that his dumbass coach had him do on a Hail Mary because they were choking away the SC championship. It was a stupid fucking play that got him hurt too. That's something else we haven't talked about at all.
It's a dumb fucking play. Why would you not throw a Hail Mary before halftime? Why would you not give it a go?
Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Did you take a fucking knee from the 50?
Yeah, I guess not. He just felt desperate.
Every team would do it. Even if you're up by 2 scores, you're going to throw a Hail Mary in that situation.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Daryl Youngblood says, why would he go to the NFL if he could transfer and make more money? Possibly the injury. He doesn't want to risk another injury at college level. No, because from a pure what is the best strategy monetarily and injury-wise standpoint, him staying in college is the best strategy.
Yes.
He would make more money and have a chance to prove that he is not hurt. Now he has this massive kind of
he will not be able to
participate
in combine, pro day. He's relying all on NFL scouts coming to my practices, NFL scouts watching the tape. And not to defend him here, though, but like the guys around him this year, let's be honest, Georgia fans, were not very good.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And yet, but he gets all the blame. Like,
he's a quarterback. Of course we get the blame.
Like, there's a world out here, though, where it's a significant step back from Carson. And you're like, oh, shit, this is what it would have been like if we didn't have a good quarterback and had these weapons.
Let me say this, too. From a draft standpoint, I don't think the tape is going to deter teams from drafting him in the top 2 rounds. I think the injury, if anything, would scare them away from drafting him in the top 2 rounds because you don't know exactly what he's going to get. I think if Carson was healthy and decided to, if Georgia loses, if he was starting quarterback for Notre Dame at a decent game, they lost and the season's over with, and he's making this decision, I think Carson would be still a top 2 round quarterback. The tape is good. It's not as good as it was a year ago, but the tape is still good, especially for this year's draft class. It is all to do with, do they believe they're going to get the same type of arm after the surgery and the rehab, which I don't know why you wouldn't think it would be the same, but it's still a risk.
Good luck to him, man. I hope he ends up, I hope this injury is not kind of, I don't want stuff to fizzle out when it had all this potential. Just such a disappointing end.
Carson ain't moving back to Georgia in the offseason.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying he's not moving back to Georgia in the offseason.
Where's he from originally?
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely one of the more odd situations I can think of, though, with a quarterback who's done so. Maybe like the only parallel that I really have for it is when Alabama fans were done with Jalen Hurts, and then he went on to have like the second greatest season we've ever seen at Oklahoma, just a Joe Burrow allows. But even then, at least the Alabama fans, you had seen Tua come in and win you a
national
championship, and take that starting job. So I don't know. This is weird, but best of luck, and we'll see. We'll see what Gunner's all about, man. I mean, you want to talk about pressure?
Oof.
The amount of pressure on Gunner Stocks right now is insane. I mean, we were talking about it before the show started, but like, you would not, and this is a testament to Kirby and what he's built at Georgia. But if you removed the context, and I get that that's a heavy lift, but play with the hypothetical. If you remove the context of knowing who Kirby Smart is, who Georgia is, and you just looked at Notre Dame and Georgia as they will be on the field on game day, there's just no way that you would choose Georgia. So again, that's a testament to Kirby and what a beast he is, that we have so much belief in him they can do that. But I also want to point out that if Georgia does win this game, what an actual accomplishment that is, because Alien comes down and looks at this game. They're not picking Georgia simply because of the quarterback factor. Just a bad matchup.
And I want to get. Do you want to get into the games? I don't want to like start diving into it.
No, we can talk about this game. Let's just talk about it. It doesn't matter. Right. We're not gonna break these out, I don't think. Anyway, are we?
Why not?
Though we already did the previews.
More is better. Anyways.
All right.
But for how good Notre Dame is, you can't sit back and say from as an entire roster that Georgia's roster is still not better than Notre Dame's.
I think from a starter standpoint, they're probably even. From a depth of the roster standpoint, Georgia probably has more talent amassed, but on starter to starter basis, you don't think they're even? Both O-lines seem very similar. Both defenses are elite.
I would still say Georgia's
Riley's better than
it's
Gunner.
Not a massive difference, which brings you to the quarterback position. I think if you just take out the quarterback spot for a quick second, I know it's crazy talk because it is the position, but if you take out the quarterback position, I would say Georgia's the better roster. You then throw in.
Don't say roster. I'm talking about starters. Don't say roster, because I agree with you on roster.
I would still
because
say
they have more.
And I'm not saying like it's a gigantic advantage to Georgia, but it's a slight advantage. Georgia's slightly better when it comes to the starters, a little bit. But then you throw in the fact that Georgia is a brand new quarterback, the guy that's never started a game before. I think then you start to reconsider, like, okay, Riley's played well, especially down the stretch. He's improved as a passer this year. He's an elite runner. We just don't. We have the uncertainty of what Gunner exactly is going to be at starting quarterback, and that should scare you as a Georgia fan.
I wonder. I don't know.
Georgia has three guys projected two or three guys projected. I think three actually.
I'm seeing
three guys projected in the top 15 NFL draft picks. Three guys on that defense. Okay.
Doesn't Notre Dame have like 2 first rounders on there? I guess Watts is hurt though. The safety would have been.
Yeah, and they're banged up front. They have like 2 or 3 guys that aren't playing in the game defensively. So yeah, I would still say Georgia's more talented.
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, they have Michael, who's projected top 3. They have Jalen top 10. They have Malachi that's top 15.
That's true. I just think, but you're right, because Notre Dame's so maybe there still is a slight talent edge there. So we'll see. Can that talent edge in Kirby Smart be enough to overcome what should be a significant disadvantage at quarterback? Chad saying Kirby's a way better coach than Freeman. Yeah, I mean, again, that's what if Marcus Freeman wins this game, that's how you start to fight against
Freeman jumps into the top 5, and Freeman's flirting with the top 5 right now. I love Marcus Freeman as the head coach.
Yeah,
love. He does it all. He's a player's coach. Guys in the locker room believe in him. He's winning. He's recruiting really well. I mean, their season could have gone to shit after that NIU loss.
Yeah,
you want to talk about just unfolding after losing that game? How embarrassing it was. You go on the road, have a massive win, probably one of the biggest wins of the weekend, week 1, against A&M in their stadium. Then you turn around, a couple weeks later to lose to NIU. That season could have unraveled. Instead, they just got better and better and better and better and better and better with some injuries sprinkled along the way. So I think he's a hell of a coach.
Sam Kim says it's a pick'em's game. It's a pick'em game. That aliens picking Notre Dame comment was moronic. Again, I don't think so. I think Georgia fans are just really like the logic y'all are using with quarterback right now is you're hoping that something that just mathematically with how we know how this works is not normally the most likely outcome here,
yes.
which is a guy starting his first game.
No, Georgia fans believe the roster difference is so great that it doesn't matter. That's what I believe. And I don't think they realize that Notre Dame has a very talented roster and the gap is not that great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You're probably right. That sounds right. Billy Boy says, how does not having Beck matter at all? We can't catch balls. At least we can get real diversity with a mobile quarterback. I'll take my chance. I'm okay with it. See, this is the problem. Can you get real diversity? You think I'm going to be scared of Gunnar Stockton throwing the ball? I'm going to sell out to stop the run and force him to beat man coverage. Runner. That's what I'm saying. Like, I am going to, if I'm Marcus Freeman, a defensive coach here, I'm going to stop his legs and force him to beat coverage with his arm. And then if that happens, I'll adjust from there. Mm-hmm. Like this idea that somehow because he can, like, do you know how good Carson was at reading defenses and putting the ball where it needed to be? Like, I guess we're going to find out.
But to think that like you're going to
at least you got Mike Bobo. At least you got Mike Bobo with Gunnar. I'm sure the fans are really pumped about that.
To think that like all of a sudden Georgia fans are like, oh, we have a mobile quarterback. This is not Jalen Milroe at quarterback for Georgia. All of a sudden, like, yeah, he's a great athlete. I love the way he runs the football, but he still would rather sit in the pocket, throw it, and be a thrower first. Add the running dynamic. This isn't. He's not equivalent to Riley Leonard at Notre Dame. He's not equivalent to Georgia Tech's quarterback. That's not him. Like, he's a good athlete, but I still think he's probably a better passer than those two. I think this is still going to be an offense that wants to throw the ball first, but then incorporate some more of the zone reads, get him on the edge a little bit more with bootlegs, RPO, stuff like that. So yeah, I believe the offense will be a little bit more diverse. Yeah, I think it will be, but like, let's just keep it real. This is not a 4-4 quarterback that I'm going to look up at the stat sheet and he's going to have 100 yards rushing against Notre Dame when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but we'll see. You know what? Maybe Georgia rolls. I'm wrong, and y'all can all make fun of me for being wrong. I do think Notre Dame wins in a close one, like 17-13. I think is what I've been saying.
I think Georgia wins 17-14.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. By the way, guys, we will do we'll do some underdog picks at the end. We won our last one, which means we're actually up big now. Yeah. Guys, if you played all of our bets, you've won money thus far. We'll see if we can keep it up. Also want to remind you, we are brought to you by Axia Time, AxiaTime.com. That is the official watch of the college football playoff and the Heisman ceremony. Me and Aaron both got our beautiful custom Axia watches. Here are the college football playoff timepieces. These are amazing gift ideas for a loved one. They're very nice Swiss watches made with elite parts, real artisanship in these watches. As you can see, you got a couple different options for each school. They both come with multiple bands. They come with all the tools you need to take links out, put links on, to reset it, like teach us to wind the clock. Like it is. Okay. So their slogan is watches that tell so much more than time. And that's what this is about. So memory, so learning to appreciate the process of this sort of watch. Beautiful. Like I said, like an art piece, basically. And you get a bunch of different bands, all that. So go to AxiaTime.com. That's AXIA time.com. And remember, if your team wins the Natty, your watch gets upgraded to a national championship watch for free. So I know Notre Dame's actually pretty clean right there, dude. Shout out to Axia. Remember, guys, we love them because they didn't want any control over the content. They were cool that they just liked the show and they wanted us to spread the good word. So tell your friends about it, even if you don't want one. You think you know somebody who would. It's Axia Time, AXIA time.com. String Gene says the Dogs stop the run game. Over. I mean, I think they will. I think both defenses are going to have a ton of success.
Yeah. Who doesn't make the costly turnover? Riley's been better. Had the one turnover in the last game. Can Gunner protect the football in his first start against that defense?
All right. Next up on the list, let's get back to our. Okay, so I got a ton that I want to talk to. I haven't got to yet. I got a bit distracted there. I want to talk about some of the bowl games that happened thus far, and we don't have to spend long on these. Like, I don't think these are going to be breakouts or anything, but they're just kind of interesting. How about the Pop-Tart Bowl? Once again, delivering in memes, but also delivering in a great game. We'll get to the memes more at the end, but Miami, Iowa State. I think the big talking point here is how do you feel about Cam Ward not playing in the second half? So he played the first half. He became the Division I all-time leading passer for touchdowns. And then he sat willingly the second half. And Miami ends up
falling to Iowa State, 42-41. My thoughts on Cam Ward sitting
My bad.
You're good.
Ends up losing.
Yeah, Miami's losing. I don't give a damn, to be honest. Like, just to be real, like, I'm happy we get to watch him one more time, even if it was for a first half. Like, in today's game, where opting out was the big thing. It seems like it's kind of changed a little bit, where guys want to play a little bit, but we're still getting plenty of opt-outs. We're getting guys transferring. Dude, I've been on coaches' calls for the past 2 days for a couple of these teams, and it feels like half the roster for two of the teams is not going to be playing. They either are in the transfer portal or they're opting out to the NFL. So the fact that we even got to watch them at all, I think is pretty great. So I don't give a damn. As long as the plan was set and that the coaching staff and team knew that Cam is coming, Cam's going to play the first half, and then guess what? Emory Williams is going to kind of show what the future is going to be in the second half. Let's go out there and find a way to win this football game. Yeah. I don't give a damn.
They didn't even let him throw it, though. I mean, they were just running it. They were having a lot of success, but Miami was just like straight smash mouth the second half. I think that
he had 14 pass attempts.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
At one point, I felt like maybe when he was trying to come back at the end, they started to stack up, because at one point through the third quarter, they had almost not thrown the ball at all when they were just relying on Damian Martinez. I think for Miami, in the end, what a weird year. Obviously, your defense just ended up being god-awful. It was the Achilles heel throughout the year. It's what it cost you the playoff. Now it costs you a bowl game. And again, a weird year for Mario Cristobal, because it's almost like Brent Venables last year at Oklahoma, where overall it's an objectively really good year. Miami finishes 10-3?
Yeah.
Where Miami's been, that's good. That's really good. But it's 10-3 with entirely too much opportunity squandered. Because you were on the edge of a playoff and you couldn't close out Syracuse because you had the number one offense and number one quarterback in the country, and you couldn't make a 12-team playoff because your defense was astronomically bad.
You lost 2 of the last 3 games of the season. I mean, I'm not taking out the bowl game here. Just really, all you had to do was win one of those games, and they were against Georgia Tech and Syracuse. Neither team ranked.
And so that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like, you can have a weird year where it's objectively good. Like Oklahoma last year, they win 10 games. Everybody's happy, right? But they beat Texas. But how do you beat Texas and then not win the Big 12?
Yeah.
Or even play in the championship? So it's that same type deal for Miami, where, like, as a Miami fan, you gotta on one hand be like, okay, objectively, Cristobal step forward, that's good. But my God, it feels like you wasted opportunity here. And shout out to Cam McCormick. 9 years. 9 years in college football now. Finally done. Unfortunately, none of those JUCO years for him, so he can't get back in there. Here's our guy. Look at him, Cam McCormick.
9 years. Now he has to go get a real job.
All right, let's talk real quick on Iowa State. Hey, how do you feel about Rocco Beck for next year? Huh? Cyclones, 11 wins. What is he, a redshirt freshman right now? I think he might be a redshirt sophomore. He has multiple years left. He's tough as shit. We got to be honest. The first 2 times I really watched him this year, the Big 12 championship in this game, and I'm a big fan. Even in that Big 12 championship, remember, he got knocked the fuck out. And
he played okay. Yeah, their defense the defense was horrendous. They couldn't do anything against Arizona State. Arizona State just went up down the field.
He's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the country next year.
From Wesley Chapel, baby, Florida, right down the road from where I grew up. No, he's talented. Do we think that the Iowa State can continue to get talent around him?
I don't know.
Like they had 2 receivers, and let's see, Noel is a senior, so he's gone, and then Higgins is also a senior. He's gone. So you're talking about his top 2 receivers, 80 receptions, 87 receptions, both over 1,000 yards, are gone. Next top receiver both were tight ends. The next receiver, the third highest receiver, was Carson Brown with 11 catches. So you have 80, 87 gone. Next up is a tight end at 26, and then 10, 11, 10, 8, 13 receptions.
That's a lot to make up.
It's a lot to make up from a talent standpoint.
But but we do know that Iowa State fans give a fuck. Like, they support the program, and that's the first ever 11-win season in school history.
Damn.
So,
from a talent standpoint, you want to talk about how to get invested, but you got to get some dudes around him. I mean, we just talked about Carson to start the show. Carson had 2 of the best receivers that are now in the NFL. Not saying these 2 guys are going to be like that in the NFL, but 2 elite guys move on, and Carson was a shell of what he was a year ago. And obviously way more just physically gifted than what Rocco is. So you take away his only 2 weapons this year, or those 2 guys. How do you make up for that next year?
Go get 2 more. I don't know.
You have to.
Carson, but like, you didn't know who those 2 guys were entering the season, did you?
True. I mean, but maybe he did, and Iowa State fans did, but for us, probably not. I don't know. Let's see.
We'll get to the Pop-Tart memes at the end, but
I mean, Jalen had 66 catches last year, 60 the year before. So, like, that's a pretty good receiver. And then Jaden had 53 and 58 the previous 2 years.
Oh, see, that feels like the quarterback being the real step up there. That feels like the quarterback being the real step up there. They'll bring those guys to the next level.
What, 20
boys at 50-50 and then goes for 80? Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah.
60. Both of them had about 60 catches each. The one had 66. So it's not like that.
No, you just said one had like 50-50.
Jalen had 66 catches last year, so he had 14 more catches this season, 1 more touchdown. Not a massive difference. The other one had 53 last year, 58 the year before. So, like, yeah, that's a better year. But 6 and 10 touchdowns those years.
Whatever. You know what, Aaron? Fuck you. Rocco Beck's going to be good. Okay, just shut the fuck up.
You're just fucking. You're ready. Did you put like an early Heisman bet on Rocco?
No, I think his dad's the. His dad's the Battlehawks head coach, and I follow him on Twitter, and I like him for some reason. Yeah, his dad, Anthony Beck, played in the NFL. It looks like for 11 years, and then he's the Battlehawks head coach. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, next on the list, one of the more surprising outcomes thus far. USC comes back from down 24-7 and beats Texas A&M 35-31. And Aaron, you mentioned teams were like half the team was sitting out. There was, I don't know how USC won this game. All their teams checked out. They're all in the portal. Everybody's gone. A dominant start for Texas A&M. I mean, they completely kick ass the first quarter. At one point, they go up 24-7 with 5 minutes left in the third, and it's after one of the best interceptions you'll see all playoffs, where who was it? I can't remember his name, the defender for A&M, but he tips it up to himself, picks it off, gives first goes 24-7. Like, this game should have been over, and somehow A&M just could not close the door, and Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon started making plays, and USC comes back and scores with 8 seconds left. One play. They could have kicked the field goal to go to OT, but they knew they had one play to try to win it. And Maeva finds it, and USC wins, man. Oh, how about this? USC 2-0s the SEC in Las Vegas.
In Vegas.
Bookends their year beating LSU and beating Texas A&M in Las Vegas.
We're talking about like rough ends of the season for Miami. What about Elko? I mean, you lose 4 of your last 5 games South Carolina, you lost to Auburn, then you lose to Texas in the big rivalry game, which that game was not close. Texas beat the absolute brakes off them. And then a game where you should have way more talent, way more starters against USC, you lose 35-31. So he's better than Jimbo. This does not feel like Jimbo
I
to
guess.
me.
I mean, Brad Powers on Twitter made a very good point. He says that was a very Kevin Sumlin, Jimbo Fisher type of season in year one for Mike Elko.
Yeah.
Start hot, fade away. The Aggies went 3-10 against the spread. Texas A&M has now lost at least 4 games in a season in 24 of its last 26 years.
Yeah, it does feel very Jimbo-esque feel to the season. I mean, once they beat you guys,
Cassius Howell, that's who it was.
Once they beat LSU, I was like, this team's legit. You know, that game, that second half, I was like, all right. You know, even though I kind of anticipated them losing to South Carolina, I did not think that it would still drop off as bad as it did. But listen, you lost your best running back. You know, he goes down, and was it in the LSU game you lose, or was it the USC game you lose? Le'Veon Moss, South Carolina game. And then you're dealing with a freshman quarterback who I thought played well in the game. Not great, but I think.
Well, Reed, I want to say this. Marcel Reed did his job. He went and led the game-winning 80, 90-yard drive, whatever it was, to take the lead back with less than 2 minutes to go. He got them the big lead. The A&M defense ended up choking.
Giving up 21 points
Elko's side of the ball just straight up choked against Lincoln Riley and that USC attack. And it wasn't like Maava was good. I mean, actually, this was a sloppy fucking game. I mean, give me the stats, Aaron, if you got them pulled up.
Oh, he had 3 picks, 5 total interceptions.
That's what I was going to say. There's so many turnovers this game. There's so many penalties. It was real ugly kind of altogether. But this is not Marcel Reed's fault at all. This is on A&M. And look, bad look for the SEC here. As it's kind of funny, the games that we thought the SEC would win, they haven't. The games you thought they'd lose, they've won.
Really, overall, the SEC's done well, though, now.
They're 4-3. I mean, look at it. You got here. I'll bring it up right here. I got this from CBSSports.com. Where is it? Here's the conference standing. The American
1-9. Oh,
he's 1-9. I know, isn't that awful? Really, really bad look.
What's Cannell saying about that shit?
Look at the American though. Give some credit to the American. 6-1. Army winners of the conference, but the Big Ten's 4-2. SEC's 4-3, but maybe more importantly, SEC's 0-2 against the Big Ten right now. But we got opportunity on the way. You got Iowa, Mizzou just started actually. Iowa, Mizzou. You got Alabama, Michigan, which you would figure. You would think SEC wins. South Carolina, Illinois, one of the best even matchups are there. So those 3, SEC's got to go 3-0 here if they win. Well, I guess we still have later playoff matchups as well. But right now, 0-2 the SEC is to the Big Ten thanks to the USC game and what was the other one, Aaron?
Georgia Tech lost.
No, Ohio State. No, Ohio State.
Oh, you're talking about losses.
Yeah, losses. Ohio State losing to Tennessee. Look at that. Look at the American 6-1. Big 12's 4-2. Big 10's 4-2. SEC 4-3. How about Diego Pavia? 5 total touchdowns. Getting it done against Georgia Tech. Dude.
It's on the call for the game, baby. I'm not gonna lie. I thought heading into the game, Georgia Tech was going to beat them and beat them bad. And they didn't happen.
No. Hell of a finish.
Hell of a
finish from Clark Lee and Vandy. Great year for Vandy. What is that? 7-6. That's huge. It's huge there, and really could have been even better. Think back to Georgia State, some other games, Mizzou. They kind of let slip through their fingers. The opposite of a good ending would be what happened to Colorado. Now, shout out to BYU. If you're Kalani Sitake, what is that? 11-2, 11-2 BYU. 3 bowl wins the last 5 years for Sitake. Take a bow. And Aaron, you know what? We were kind of laughing. We thought the speed of Colorado would be too much for BYU. And nothing could have been further from the truth. Colorado's offense looked helpless.
They couldn't run the football.
Shedeur was holding on to the ball forever.
Average. Yeah. Shedeur, not the best look for Shedeur going out. Travis looked amazing as always. So that's how we won money on this football game. We went 3 for 3 on our picks on Underdog and walked away with $250. But Travis showed up. It was good to see a Heisman Trophy winner win the Heisman, and then obviously look like a Heisman in the football game. But that was the only good part about the game for Colorado was Travis Hunter.
Well, because the thing is, I thought Colorado's defense was actually fine here. They forced a bunch of turnovers on Retzloff.
Yeah.
They didn't give up. It was special teams again, man. I mean, BYU's again. Colorado's offense was god awful. It's credit to BYU's defense, but I am so guilty in this job of saying special teams matters, but never actually weighing it in my pregame evaluations. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because we always say that it matters. We know there's 3 phases game. That's a cute little things that you color guys say at some point after big special teams play is made, just because we all have to remind ourselves of that. But we never actually sit there before the game and are like, I think it could make a big difference. But that won BYU multiple games this year. And in this game, you had a long field goal, you had a surprise onside kick, you had a punt return touchdown. BYU is going to teach me that I have to
respect the third phase.
I have to start putting more stock into the third phase before games when evaluating.
Thoughts on Shedeur?
Again, I mean,
is he moving your mind? I think
did he go out there in the Giants cleats? Was that true? Did you see that?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I had him as QB2. I still thought Cam was the better quarterback. I think Cam is more athletic. I think Cam has a better arm. I think Cam's a little bit more risky with some of the throws he makes. We talked about that throughout the season, but I still had Cam as the number 1 quarterback. I know a lot of people had Shedeur at number 1. So this didn't change my opinions on who goes 1, who goes 2, because there's really only 2. So I don't think he hurt himself necessarily with the game, but it still would have been nice for them to go out in a big way.
Yeah. So this is not a good look. So before the bowl game, he got custom cleats made, and he said, quote, I think Dion said this, "We know where we are going. You'll see them in the cleats later on this week." And then he showed up in New York Giants cleats, custom New York Giants cleats. So doing that and then kind of shitting the bed, just, not anything that's going to cause an NFL team, I think, to not make a decision, but kind of just a blah kind of look.
Who would you take there? Do you agree with me? Cam 1, Shedeur 2?
By the way, yes, John Daly, I am in the Scarlet Monastery, as you can see. Shout out. You know how these heretics be. Who would I take? 1 and 2? I think I could. I'm just really going to have an awful opinion here, because right now I'd say just either. I don't know. I don't think there's a huge functional difference between the two. I personally maybe like Shedeur's kind of pedigree a bit more. He's been around the NFL for so long and kind of training to be
a Nepo baby.
Yeah, exactly. No bloodlines.
No wonder.
He didn't have to go there. He didn't go to community college. I guess he went to HBCU. But I mean, do you think there's a massive gap between him and Cam?
No. If he went 1 and Cam went 2, not just in quarterback rankings, I wouldn't be up here saying it's the worst mistake an NFL team has ever made in their life.
But let's take a second though to talk about Retzloff, the BYU quarterback.
Yep.
Because I suddenly looked at the calendar and I saw that I was invited to a Jewish bar crawl.
Oh.
That night or the other night. I was going to wear my Star David sweater, but I couldn't. I ended up having to go I had to go to a birthday party. But the point of all this is I realized, not that, I mean, I should know from you, but you're a damn bad Jew, as we've discussed in the past. You don't actually know when Hanukkah is.
Christmas.
Hanukkah is going on during this game.
Yeah.
So you have Jake Retzloff wearing blue and white, playing football on Hanukkah. Of fucking course BYU was going to win this game.
Yeah, but he played like shit, though.
Yeah, they won the game, though. He had a couple good options. He had some good plays here. They had a couple good runs.
He sucked.
No, he was okay, dude. He was okay.
He was shit.
He was okay.
He did not represent for the Jews during.
That's not true. I have it written right here. Something very appropriate
about Retzloff. I'm a bad Jew. He's a bad Jew.
No, he said Retzloff. Yeah. I said Retzloff makes lots of good plays, but he makes some awful ones as well. Throwing the ball against his body was wild. Hell, he damn near gave him 2 points on a conversion. Okay, yeah. It's whatever, dude. You got to connect the dots here. You got to connect the dots. You're a bad Jew. You don't even know when Hanukkah is.
I did know when Hanukkah was. How do you can't just
When was the last day of Hanukkah? When was the last day of Hanukkah?
It's still going on. There's 7 nights.
I said, when's the last day? I thought there were 8 nights.
7 nights are from the 26th.
Wait, hold on. Aren't there 8 days of Hanukkah? Is it 8 days, 7 nights?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need. Hold on.
7 nights.
Did you just fuck up?
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
There's 7. There's 7 candles.
I don't know, dude. Then what's that Adam Sandler movie? 8 Crazy Nights. I always thought there were 8 days of Hanukkah.
Oh, it is 8. Damn.
Oh my God, guys! See what I'm fucking. See, could you have proven it?
There's 9 candles, not 7. 9. Damn it! Oh,
DBJ, guys. He's a damn good dog, but a damn bad Jew. I did, not that this means anything, but Syracuse won their bowl game 52-35 over Wazoo. And I just want to give love to Fran Brown. 10-3. 10-3, year one. What a year one.
That's a quarterback
for Fran Brown.
Does he leave?
Yeah, McCord. I don't know. It's a very good question.
He had one really bad game. He threw 5 picks versus Louisville, but he's been great this year.
For some reason, do they think he's leaving? Because they're in on every transfer quarterback.
I mean, his stats this year are pretty damn impressive.
Talking about Kyle McCord, John.
I mean, Kyle McCord, yeah. I mean, he's a senior. I mean, I think he may not be able to come back. I don't know if he has a COVID year.
Oh, okay.
So I guess he is gone. I mean, he had like 34 tutties, 12 picks. 5 of them came in one game versus Louisville.
Oh, he was great.
Kyle. He had a great year. So yeah, I think he is gone. They gotta steal when it comes to like NIL dollars. Like they gotta steal for what he produced this year. You remember I was bitching being the season. I was told he's getting paid like $800,000.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker's getting paid $800,000.
He's actually underpaid.
He should have been paid a couple mil the way he played this year. Hey,
Aaron. Hanukkah ends on the 2nd, by the way. Okay. So now if anybody asks you, you can say the 2nd.
Yeah. That's 8.
By the way, did we mention Brent Venables? Oklahoma falling 21-20 to Navy. Get up 14-0. And then can't do anything. Blake Horvath going off 95-yard tutty run.
I do appreciate him going for 2 because we were the game afterwards and we practiced on our open and we were like, open was ready to go. And we're like, fucking A, they're about to go to overtime. We're not gonna be able to do our open. You know, the wife and kids are gonna be able to see my face on TV because it's the only time I get on.
No.
And he decided to go for 2 and didn't get it. So at least he did not screw up our ability to get on camera. So I do appreciate him screwing that up though.
That's the most QB1 answer possible to such a scenario. But you know that I do always believe in keeping the initiative and going for the win. Normally I do it as an underdog, but I'll never fault anybody who just wants to control their destiny in their hands. Really exciting game with the finish there. But Navy, man, what a year for Navy. But again, the real storyline has to be Oklahoma here. I mean, the same way that all of a sudden A&M fans are kind of like, what the fuck? The storyline's what? Not Oklahoma losing 21-20, all their teams in the transfer portal.
What a man Navy's coach looks like.
I don't actually know what Navy's coach.
Did you not see him with this just beautiful white beard? I mean,
yes, yeah. It is. I don't know how it wasn't. That's a good question.
I looked. I was like,
it almost looks fake in how perfectly how perfect his beard is. Let me just share with everybody so you can see.
I mean, it was. I looked. I was like, damn. I'm intimidated watching him.
Yeah. He looks like the type of coach that'll be like, oh, you're fucking tired, and then he'll run like 36 110s and not even be breathing hard, and he'll be like, fuck. How's this old man in so much better shape than I am?
I mean, look at him. I mean, he's getting all the moms to say, "Your son, you're going to the Navy." Usually moms like, I don't know if I want my kid going into the Army or Navy. Like, you're going. You're going. Sign him up. He needs some discipline. So do I.
He does look like, yes, he's got major discipline energy. For sure. That BDE, that big discipline energy, without a doubt. Brian Newberry.
But yes, back to the real topic, Oklahoma. This is why
it's disastrous.
It is
disastrous.
This is as bad as it gets. You go 6
he has a $40 million. He has a $42 or $44 million buyout, and now for the second year out of 3, you're 6-7 when you hadn't had a losing season since 1998. And guess what? You have the same shitty schedule again next year. Oh, and your quarterback left that you ran Dylan Gabriel out of town for.
I know. As back-to-back quarterbacks, you run out of town.
Oh, and really, the whole team is leaving.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a.
It doesn't seem that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It seems like right now for Oklahoma,
no,
especially in this conference, it doesn't seem like, oh, well, they can get it figured out by next year. Like, you look at the roster and it's like, can they maybe get to 7 or 8 wins next year? Like, yeah, but if you're an Oklahoma fan, after 4 years, would you be happy with 8 wins next year? Like, I don't see this team jumping to being contenders in the SEC next season.
No.
So then all of a sudden you have 3 bad years in 4 years. Like, I don't know what the buyout would be at that point, but I don't know how he survives. I think he feels very much like a dead man walking right now. You inherited a good roster, and you've made it worse, and you've underperformed when it comes to record.
Well, it's funny because
this isn't like Florida, where he inherited a roster that was behind, and he's had to kind of work his way out of it. Like, you inherited a
now
team
OU fans do like it, because I've barked up this tree before, and I've had a lot of OU fans tell me that, like, the roster was worse than you think and the culture was bad, and it looked like they were onto something with kind of the collapse of Lincoln out west and the initial returns, but it's all kind of evaporated in front of their face, right? Like, I went very hard after Sark, and I was wrong there. I went against Venables, and I thought I was wrong, but I don't know, man. It's looking like time is starting to rubber band back the other way. Sark emerged, and he's straight up good now. Christopher, he's got a little bit of Venables in him. I'm still kind of on the fence, but definitely a good year for him. But Venables, I don't think he has it, dude.
I don't think he has it. He just doesn't have it, man.
Well, and again, that's the other thing that we always talk about. There's nothing to fall back on that says that Brent Venables does, because he never did. He never has.
Only blame yourself, Oklahoma fans. Only can blame yourself.
Aaron, did you see the resurrection?
Presentation.
Did you see the resurrection of strawberry to Pop-Tart? Wait, are we gonna get demonetized if I play this?
Probably. Don't fuck it up for us.
What? You think we would, though? This is from Pop-Tart's Twitter, so we're giving them free marketing. Don't they want this?
I don't know. You talking about like him going to his death again? What are you talking about here?
No, strawberry. We gotta play it. We get demonetized.
What do you mean?
Just watch.
Was he gone for a while?
No, this is from last year.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I love the side toss, dude.
Oh, where we began.
Look at it.
So good.
Kansas State eating him up.
When I see you again.
He came back.
Look. Oh, strawberry Pop-Tart is back alive. His mangled corpse.
Oh my God.
Smoke's blocking the shot. The director's desperately trying to get the strawberry to turn around.
so good.
And look here, I love it. They just go for it. They're like, we're just gonna do a full Jesus thing. The other Pop-Tarts are crying to see their friends again. Look at them. Look at the zombified corpse of Strawberry Pop-Tart back alive.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. So good.
Oh my God. I hope that aliens discover this footage in 200 years and then try to make or 1,000 years and try to make all these kind of conclusions on what our society was like. Okay. So I don't show that for no reason. It's very funny. Okay. But the whole idea behind the Pop-Tart sacrifice is that the Pop-Tarts want to be sacrificed, right? Like they're happy. You saw him toss. He was happy to get burned. He said it's all he's ever wanted. Well, then why were the other Pop-Tarts so excited to see him still alive? Why was he so excited to still be alive? Do these Pop-Tarts actually enjoy being toasted? Do they enjoy being eaten? Do they enjoy being burned? And Aaron, I will present to the audience here a second piece of media that will once again call this into question. I want you to watch what happens here when brown sugar cinnamon hits. This might be s'mores, but watch when this Pop-Tart gets in the toaster, okay? Tell me if he looks like he's in pain or not. Again, follow your dreams on the sign. He's so happy to get burned here.
God, I want a fucking Pop-Tart.
Watch though. Look. You're telling me he's wait. Okay, so you're telling me look, he looks like he's in pain there.
Oh,
watch his body.
He's burned.
Cinnamon roll.
Or he's orgasming because he's just so much
true.
pleasure because he's doing what he wants to do. I think he had an orgasm. I think he fucking nutted everywhere.
That is true. I mean, I guess Pop-Tarts or pain and pleasure are just
Matt Campbell, Rocco Beck,
two different sides of the same coin. I suppose. Wait, hold on. Did they say Rocco Beck?
Matt Campbell, Rocco Beck, the MVP.
There
what
you
a
go.
Performance. Give it up one more time for all these young men. Go get some of that giant Pop-Tarts. We're heading back to you in studio, Kevin Nagandi.
I need some of that.
Also,
instead I'll be eating fucking mayonnaise for 4 hours on Friday.
Are they gonna keep sacrificing or resurrecting the Pop-Tarts every year?
I don't know.
At what point does it end? I don't know if they do, dude. I think this is the best shit ever. I think it is like whoever came up with this marketing scheme, that kid, woman, man, whoever deserves a massive raise. Because you know how effective this is, bro? This stupid ass video has 2.5 million views. This is corporate advertising that we like because it's just funny. This is how marketing should be done. Shout out to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. He is risen. All right. Aaron, go on Underdog and let's pick a game.
Let's pick the Penn State game versus Boise State.
And for guys that don't know, Underdog Fantasy, remember, if you sign up today, use the promo code SNAPS and get a free pick and match your first deposit up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So if you sign up, use the promo code SNAPS, you put $100 and you'll have 200 to play with. If you put in 200, you'll have 400. I'll read you the disclaimer here in a little bit, but look, Underdog's super fun. They got your daily fantasy. We like doing the pick'em, which is great. It's where you, as you see here, you get higher and lower options for a bunch of different players. You choose multiple things in the game. Normally you get 2 right. That's a 3X. What did we get right, Aaron, the other day? 3?
3, baby.
And $50 turned into what?
$250.
$250. Okay. So I gave you two picks for 3X. One of those hit. So you're up 50 there. If you followed Aaron's picks, now you're up a total of 200. Or whatever, 4 units, whatever you're betting with, but it's super fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun and it's a nice extra cash for some gifts here during the holiday season. So I already got my first pick though.
You should not gamble for gift cash, guys. It's an awful idea. You will lose all the money to buy your kids gift.
I'm just trying to buy more
gamble
Bitcoin.
for fun.
That's it. More Bitcoin.
Yes, there you go. Now you're acting like a real degenerate.
Boise State giving up 247 yards per game through the air, which is third to last in the Mountain West, number 10 in the Mountain West. I think Drew Aller, give me higher than 225.5 passing yards.
I think I'm with you. Let me look at a Drew Aller game log here. That's another thing we like to do here, guys, is you look at a stat, you go to a game log, which I like cfbstats.com. It's my favorite.
Yep.
And you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. What is it over?
225.
Okay, he would have hit that one, 2, 3. He hit that 5 times this season. He would have hit it 3 of the last 5 games. And he would have hit it against Purdue, hit it against Minnesota, hit it against
Boise
Oregon.
State's the number 2 rush defense in the Mountain West. Maybe 115. So I think obviously weakness is the pass game for them.
Yeah.
So
I'd say go for it.
I kind of like Maddox. I think Penn State gets up. I think Penn State obviously wins this game. I think Boise State's going to have to throw the ball to feel like they have to get back.
I don't think so. I think they're going to try to run. I think they're going to try to run their way back in.
Even like in the third or fourth quarter, you don't think they can get 168?
Let's check to the box scores we go, guys, or to the game log. Okay, Boise
158, 195, 167, 286, 119.
What's he looking for?
168.
He went 17 of 40 for 148 against Oregon. So they threw it 40 times. He completed 17 for 140.
That was on the road at Oregon, though. Neutral site. And they knew they were probably playing Penn State. They've had extra weeks to prep. You can't tell me they don't have a couple things schemed up, ready to go.
Can we at least look at some Ashton Genty before we commit to Maddox Mass?
Ashton Genty. I think Ashton gets over 125 too.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah, smash it then.
Or do you think he just gets a touchdown? I think the touchdown's actually safer.
Touchdown's definitely safer.
If they score, it's going to be him.
But look, that's why, it's not paying out nearly as much to touchdown. So, okay, but then if you really believe, then go higher rush yards and higher. You can't do 2 picks, same player.
No.
Yeah, then do that. And then I think it's a risk to go Maddox above the pass yards higher. But if it hits, then that'll be a good payout.
We're 0 for 3 with Tyler Warren. Do we go 0 for 2? Excuse me. Do we third time's the charm?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go Tyler Warren touchdown.
So you feel better about him touchdown or receiving yards?
Let's see. I mean, he doesn't catch a lot of touchdowns, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's got 6 on the year. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns.
I kind of like doing a flat. No, let's do standard. All right. So do you want? I like Maddox over 168.5. You tell me. I'll give it to you. Do you want that, or do you want something from Warren?
I don't. I think you have Warren in there right now. I don't think I want the Warren touchdown number.
Okay.
I don't know if I like the receiving number either.
No.
I mean, he would not have broken that a lot.
If we're saying that, if we're betting on Drew Aller going over 225, his best receiver is still Warren.
Yeah, and I guess it does line up with the games where Drew Aller did do that. Warren had big games.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some synergy there.
All right, so let's do that then. There we go. Bam.
Okay, so 3 correct, $50 bet pays out 126. It's a little over 2x.
Okay. Hit it.
And yeah, hit it.
Boom. There we go.
There we go, guys. So Drew Aller higher than 225.5 pass yards. Asher Genty to higher than, to score touchdown rushing or receiving. And Tyler Warren to catch for at least 76 yards. That's from your friends over there at Underdog Fantasy.
Go make it count, people. Go make one.
Again, guys, promo code SNAPS, underdogfantasy.com. We're very happy they decided to partner with us. Didn't want any control. Just wanted to try to hook y'all up. So you use promo code SNAPS, you get a free pick and first-time deposit offer match up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Super easy. Super easy, guys. Must be 18 or older, 21 plus in Massachusetts, Arizona, 19 plus in Alabama, and Nebraska. Present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Conservative to play. Call 100-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call the 100-NEXT-STEP, 100-629-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7-HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY 467-369. There you go, guys. All right. Sorry we didn't touch on those other playoff games there.
All good. We'll be back. We'll do a live reaction for this game tomorrow night. And then we'll be doing some live reactions around all the bowl games on Wednesdays, not all the bowl games, but playoff games. So stay tuned and let's have a good new year, people.
Fly safe, Aaron.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.